Okay, today we're going to calibrate this kettle. So with our new site class in it. So I did a little research online, of course, to find some way to do it, and I took some information that I'd seen in some videos on how you did it with just a standard, I'll call it plastic style, but instead of a glass style. But the difference is that there's no protector around it. So what I'm going to try to do is what they pretty much do online, which is take some blue tape, unscrew this cap, pull the glass out, and try to mark a straight line of blue tape across the side of it. Hopefully it will slip back into the channel here, and I plan on having just a little bit of blue showing, just enough to get a pencil mark on there. Then I've gotten this jar here and marked exactly 1 gallon, which happens to be right there. So I used an accurate measuring cup to make sure that I knew I had accurate numbers there. And then the numbers, they're kind of big, but I picked them up at the supply house. And they're just vinyl numbers, 2 through 15. I won't need all those, of course. And I've got a small paper cutter, so I'm going to try to cut these very straight off and then line them up along the edge of the blue tape, and hopefully everything fits and goes together. So that's the plan. I'm going to pull things apart and just start working on the tape now. Make sure we don't chip anything. Everything is nice and smooth, so it'll seal properly, and of course be safe. So I think I'm going to clean this thing up real quick and put the tape on. Okay, decided just to grab some standard rubbing alcohol. That should help the vinyl stick. I might have to clean this up one more time before I actually stick it on, but let's start with this at least. Try to keep my fingerprints off of this thing. So to get this straight, it's probably going to be harder than it looks, I would imagine. I don't want to go all the way down or all the way up, just because I think it's going to be hard to fit this thing in there as it is. So I laid the tape on. I did a test run really quick and laid the tape on. And it seemed like it was a little bit off, and this cut may not be even in the metal. It's hard to get this thing right. I mean, it's really hard to get this thing to be straight. So I have a feeling this is going to be about as good as it's going to get. Okay, so we got this thing pretty level this way. And this way. So just a few shims, no big deal, but that'll just make sure that everything here is level as well. So just a precautionary thing. So we'll start pouring some water. I hope it doesn't leak. Hopefully I got that tight enough, otherwise I'll have to start all over. Here we go. There's 2 gallons. When it quits bouncing around, we'll put our 2 gallon mark. Okay, that's 2 gallons. Keep on going. Okay, so we've got all of our marks on there. So we got 2 through 10. We know that they're accurate because they come right up to here. That's the 10 gallon mark anyway, right on the kettle. So we'll drain the kettle now and get ready to put the numbers on. Okay, all the water's drained out, so let's take this thing apart. As far as these numbers go, kind of a bummer is that they're not cut, the edges are not cut perfect, which is going to make my cuts more difficult. I was hoping just to put it up on the paper cutter and take care of it. I tried cleaning up this edge a little bit, but it's not going to be perfect, so I'm going to just do my best to cut it. If I can make the paper cutter work, I'm going to. If I can't, I'm just going to have to cut it by hand. The other thing I guess I got to make sure is that there's enough room with this blue tape here as my edge to wrap these numbers around. I have a feeling there's not. I think I might have to take part of this tape off, and then I guess if I want to use this as an edge, let's say here, yeah, I guess it will just fit, won't it, if I cut it tight. Oh good, that'll make it a little bit easier then. So I guess I'm gonna pick one point that I want to cut, how far I want to cut, and try to keep everything about equal. Okay, I've never done this before, so let's see what happens. I believe we got to peel the back off first. Probably should have started with the other corner, but try not to tear it. Here it goes. You get one shot, I'm assuming, so. Get you a better shot here. It's hard to kind of tell if I'm exactly where I want to be. I feel like I want to be a little bit higher. Not by much though, but I don't know if I can take it off. A little bit. So it looks like you get a little bit of flexibility, but not a lot. As long as it's straight, so let's go for it. So we'll start peeling this off. Let's see if we're doing it right. Oh, sweet. Look at that. Huh? That looks awesome. Looks lined up pretty darn good to me. Cool. To be real careful when you lay these back in there. Alright, I'm going to clean up this glass and get ready on another one. I'm excited. So there they are. Once you got it going, it went really fast. I mean, it really got to be a lot easier than it seemed like it was going to be. So just making sure to really rub these down good and peel them off real slow. Okay, there it is, all done. And I'm going to slide it in here carefully and try not to scratch it. Put my cap on and call it a day.